Talk energy because there are two big stories and they're happening literally right now. First, Russia has shut off natural gas flows to Germany now indefinitely. They want the Western sanctions on oil lifted, and also OPEC Plus now reversing an earlier increase, so effectively now cutting production, something Brian Sullivan reported on was likely to happen over a week ago right here on CNBC. And for this conversation, I want to bring Brian on to talk more about both of these stories and where we stand. Brian.
Yeah. Number one, Russia cutting off Nord Stream 1. As you noted, they want those sanctions lifted, which is interesting because, remember, the full European sanctions don't kick in until December 5th. There is some growing chatter in Europe. Will they hold with those sanctions over time? We're going
to. This is all of these prices, right? This is UK natural gas. This is natural gas. This is Dutch. These are global gas prices, right?
Find out. Now, natural gas prices have come down a bit, but of course, they're up about 700% from 1 year ago. Here's the good news.
So, oh, by the way, so you just see this graphic, you're flipping through the channels or whatever, you're going to think, oh, see, Putin's prices has come down. It's up 700%. America literally, I mean, we've had Danny Haiphong on the show talking about how our sanctions against China and Russia are literally backfiring against the United States. Like the United States is bringing about its own demise, and other world leaders know this, but America is so drunk on its own power, and Americans are so propagandized that they're like, yeah, they're crumbling over there. Here's another thing too. All the stuff you hear in the media, oh, shelves are empty. I just talked to Susie Dawson, who lives in Moscow. She's like, no, Graham, the shelves aren't empty. Putin has done a bunch of things that were very smart. He hasn't been printing money, which is what America and the West has been doing, printing money, which we're setting ourselves up. I watch video after video after video of like financial experts saying America is going to have a huge financial collapse. So Putin, which Russia is a monetary sovereign, just like the United States, it hasn't been printing its own money. You know what it did? It gave more money it had in reserves in pensions, right? And to people that aren't working, that are making the least amount of money. So that got fused into the economy. And Russia started doing this back when the sanctions hit by Obama in 2014 of making their own products so that they wouldn't be at the mercy of Western sanctions. So some Russians say, well, you don't get as many choices because, like, you know, there's only a handful of products made when we don't get the imports. But they're making their own products. Their economy has actually been doing quite well. The ruble is doing really well. The euro and the dollar are not. For the first time in 20 years, the euro is now less than the dollar. So these sanctions are really hurting Europe more than anybody, and eventually America. But they're not going to. The CNBC is not going to say that.